Keanu Reeves walks into a luxurious salon, his appearance rugged and unkempt after months of intense dedication to a transformative role. The whispers begin instantly. Judgment, disdain, and mocking eyes follow his every step. What the staff and elite clientele don't realize is that the man they dismiss so easily is about to teach them a lesson they'll never forget. What happens next will leave you utterly speechless. Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. I want to know you better. For months, Keanu Reeves fully immersed himself in a role that challenged not just his talent but also his identity. The character, a complex and tormented man, demanded a drastic physical transformation, an unkempt beard, long and messy hair, and clothes that gave an air of neglect. For Keanu, total commitment to the role had always been what set him apart. It wasn't just about acting, it was about living the character in its essence. During filming, he avoided public appearances, focusing entirely on his performance. Each day on set, he delved deeper into the role, ignoring any concern about his personal appearance. His beard grew thick, his hair hung well past his shoulders, and his tired eyes revealed sleepless nights. He knew he was on the right path when his co-stars began to comment, "Keanu, you're unrecognizable. It's like the character has completely taken over you." But this was nothing new for the actor. His commitment to authenticity had always taken precedence over vanity. Finally, the last day of filming arrived with a mix of relief and nostalgia. Keanu left the set knowing he had given everything to the role. Now, it was time to leave the character behind and reclaim his own identity. A castmate suggested he visit a famous salon in the city known for its impeccable service and its elite Hollywood clientele. "Keanu, you've got to check out the Atelier. It's the best salon around. They'll take care of you like no one else," the castmate said. Keanu laughed, a bit skeptical. It wasn't the kind of place he usually went to, but after months of relentless dedication, perhaps it was exactly what he needed. A few days later, Keanu decided to give it a try. Without notifying anyone, he showed up at the Atelier. He wore simple clothes, worn jeans, a black t-shirt, and scuffed boots. His untamed beard and long hair didn't go unnoticed, but Keanu didn't care. He was just an ordinary man walking in for a haircut. As he crossed the salon's entrance, he felt the stares directed at him. With a calm smile, he approached the reception desk. Before he could say anything, the receptionist, dressed impeccably with a practiced smile, raised her eyebrows, giving him a once-over. "Can we help you?" she asked, her tone a mix of surprise and doubt. Keanu replied simply, "I'd like a haircut and a beard treatment." For a moment, the receptionist hesitated. Her expression suggested she wasn't sure if this man fit the salon's clientele. Still, she maintained her forced smile and said, "Of course. Please wait a moment." Keanu sat quietly, unaware that his simplicity would be met with disdain by those around him. He had no idea that his appearance, shaped by a brilliant role, could be seen as a reason for contempt in that place. The Atelier wasn't just a salon, it was a true temple of opulence and luxury. Located on one of Beverly Hills' most exclusive streets, the venue radiated sophistication from the very facade, with massive tinted glass doors and gold accents. Upon entering, anyone was immediately enveloped by the aroma of imported scented candles and the subtle sparkle of crystal chandeliers. The interior was a spectacle in itself. The walls were lined with Italian marble, and each styling station was adorned with a mirror framed in gold details. In the back, a table with chilled champagne and fine hors d'oeuvres was available for clients, who spoke in polite whispers. The clientele consisted of well-known figures from Hollywood's elite, actors, directors, and millionaire entrepreneurs. Conversations floated through the air like an elegant murmur. "My next destination is Bora Bora. I'll be spending a few weeks on my yacht. Oh, darling, you simply must try the salon's new exclusive product line. It costs a fortune, but it's worth every penny." Into this scene stepped Keanu. From the first moment, he seemed out of place. His unkempt beard and long hair created a stark contrast to the immaculate environment. Dressed in ordinary jeans and a worn black t-shirt, he walked calmly toward the reception desk, seemingly oblivious to the stares that began to gather. The whispers started almost immediately. Some people tried to be discreet, while others didn't bother hiding their reactions. A client with perfectly styled waves commented to a friend nearby. "Who is he? He looks like someone who got lost on the way here." Keanu, however, didn't appear bothered. He was the same calm and self-assured man as always. He approached the receptionist, who looked at him with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. She forced a smile before asking, "May I help you?" Keanu, maintaining his calm demeanor, responded. His serene demeanor replied, "I'd like a haircut and a beard treatment." There was a moment of uncomfortable silence. The receptionist seemed unsure of what to do, as though she was evaluating whether this client truly belonged there. Finally, she spoke in a neutral, almost mechanical tone. "Of course, I'll call one of our professionals. Please wait." Keanu thanked her politely and took a seat, unaware that the judgmental stares from clients and staff would not stop following him. He didn't yet know that his simplicity and authenticity were about to be cruelly tested in that place. Keanu Reeves waited patiently at the salon's reception, seemingly unaware of the reactions around him. But the judgmental stares and whispers grew louder. For the regular patrons of the atelier, he wasn't just an outsider. He was someone who clearly didn't belong. The receptionist returned after a brief consultation with the staff. Her smile was tense, almost uncomfortable, and her carefully polished tone barely masked her evident lack of patience. "So, our services are exclusive and, let's say, highly personalized. It might be worth mentioning that our prices start in the 4-digit range." She emphasized the last part as though gauging Keanu's reaction. The actor maintained his calm demeanor and replied without hesitation, "That won't be a problem." The receptionist blinked, surprised by his calm response. Still, the slight furrow of her brow betrayed her lingering doubts. She made a quick gesture for Keanu to follow her. As Keanu walked through the lavish room, it seemed to pause for a moment. All eyes turned toward him, some openly curious, others filled with disdain. His presence felt like an event worth noting. "Does he really think he can afford anything here?" one woman whispered to her friend, leaning over in her chair. Her friend stifled a giggle, covering her mouth. "Maybe he just walked in to say he's been here. I bet he'll leave as soon as he hears the final price." A man sitting near the champagne station murmured to his colleague, "This salon isn't for everyone. Seems like he hasn't figured that out yet." Another voice added. When they arrived at the styling station, the stylist assigned to Keanu, a slender, impeccably dressed man named Marcus, looked him over from head to toe before turning to the receptionist and whispering loud enough to be overheard. "Are you sure he's in the right place? We don't do budget cuts here." The receptionist simply shrugged, clearly sharing the same doubt. Marcus let out an exaggerated sigh before approaching Keanu. Adjusting his shirt collar, he looked as though he were preparing to handle an unpleasant task. "Well, let's get started," Marcus said with a fake smile. "I hope you came prepared to invest in your appearance. Our services are, shall we say, a bit more sophisticated than the usual." Keanu simply smiled politely and took a seat in the chair. As Marcus began assessing Keanu's hair, he couldn't resist making another comment dripping with irony. "We're going to need a full makeover here. I just hope he brought the right credit card." Another staff member, arranging products nearby, let out a quiet chuckle. "Maybe he thinks he can put it all on a payment plan." He joked softly, loud enough for only the group of employees to hear. They all laughed, except for Keanu, who remained calm. Meanwhile, a client at a nearby station leaned toward her stylist and whispered, "Do you think he can actually afford all this? He looks so ordinary." The stylist responded with a sly smile. "Well, he better. This isn't a charity." As the chair turned and Keanu faced a mirror, Marcus delivered another jab. "This is going to take a lot of work. Maybe we should start with a consultation before doing anything. I wouldn't want to waste time if he can't pay." The entire salon seemed to hold its breath, eagerly anticipating any reaction from Keanu. But he remained silent, giving no hint of what he was thinking, leaving everyone even more intrigued. Keanu remained seated in the chair, his calm demeanor starkly contrasting with the increasingly tense atmosphere around him. The staff and clients continued exchanging glances and whispers, their insinuations growing bolder. Yet he stayed serene, as if oblivious to the situation. Marcus began his work with careless, unnecessarily rough movements, showing little regard for providing quality service. He tugged at Keanu's hair harder than needed, muttering, "This is going to take a lot of work. Looks like no one's touched this hair in months." Another staff member walking by stopped to observe and, with an ironic smile, added, "Maybe we should call someone who specializes in emergency cuts. He needs more than a salon treatment." Laughter from the staff echoed through the room, as if Keanu wasn't even there. Despite the provocation, he remained silent, maintaining his polite posture. As Marcus continued working, he exchanged glances with another stylist nearby, who smirked slightly. "Marcus." Then, with exaggerated humor, Marcus said, "I don't even know where to start. Maybe we'll need an extra treatment just to disinfect this." The other stylist chuckled softly and replied, "I just hope he knows we're dealing with premium services here. This isn't your average salon." Keanu, hearing every word, kept his expression composed. He stared at his reflection in the mirror, offering no reaction, letting the silence speak for itself. As the haircut progressed slowly, Marcus paused dramatically and, with a tone of feigned courtesy, said, "Before we continue, it might be worth mentioning that all services here must be paid in full at the end. Our standards are quite elevated." Keanu met his gaze through the mirror, his calm unwavering, and replied, "Understood. How much does the full service cost?" Marcus blinked, surprised by the straightforward response, as though he had expected hesitation or excuses. But Keanu simply kept his gaze steady, leaving no room for doubt. The staff and clients exchanged glances. The entire salon seemed suspended in anticipation, waiting for the outcome of this interaction. Marcus, still confused, resumed his work, but the discomfort in the room continued to grow. Keanu could feel it, yet he remained unmoving, his tranquility seemingly unsettling those who judged him even more. The salon, once a place of discreet whispers and muffled laughter, grew increasingly tense. The clash between Keanu's simplicity and the elitist environment of the atelier reached a new height. It was as though no one could look away from the unusual scene unfolding before them. Even those who sensed the discomfort of the situation chose not to intervene. An older client, visibly uneasy with Marcus's comments, murmured to herself, "This doesn't seem right, but it's none of my business." Others, however, merely watched as though witnessing a spectacle. Clearly fishing for a reaction from Keanu, Marcus turned to him again and asked, "May I ask, sir, before we go any further, are you prepared for the final cost? I wouldn't want you to be surprised when we're done." Keanu raised his eyes, meeting Marcus's gaze through the mirror. In his calm, firm voice, he replied, "As I've said, that won't be a problem. Please continue." Keanu's response not only silenced Marcus momentarily but also brought the entire salon into a tense quiet. However, Marcus couldn't resist the urge to keep provoking. "I hope that's true because here, excellence comes at a price, and it's not cheap." Before Marcus could say another word, the salon doors burst open with a resounding force, revealing a figure with an imposing presence. The sound echoed through the space, and everyone turned to look. It was the manager, striding in with firm steps, his serious expression indicating that something significant was about to happen. The atmosphere, which had been filled with laughter and judgment moments before, descended into absolute silence. Everyone knew the manager didn't show up unless something truly important was unfolding. Keanu, still seated in the chair, watched the manager's reflection approaching in the mirror. He knew the moment to reveal the truth about his identity was close. The doors of the atelier opened with a soft creak, and a tall, elegant figure entered the salon. It was the manager, impeccably dressed, known for his meticulous attention to detail and unwavering professionalism. His silent but commanding presence immediately drew the attention of everyone in the room. As the manager walked through the salon, he scanned the space, trying to understand the strange tension that seemed to hang in the air. He noticed the diverted gazes, whispered comments, and, at the center of it all, an unusual client seated in one of the chairs. As he approached, his eyes landed on Keanu, and he stopped abruptly. A flicker of recognition crossed his face. "It can't be," he murmured to himself, quickening his pace toward Keanu's chair. His expression shifted from curiosity to absolute respect. When he finally reached the chair, he paused briefly before speaking. "Mr. Reeves, it's an honor to have you here." The entire salon seemed to freeze. Some clients shifted uncomfortably in their seats, while others stared at Keanu in stunned disbelief. The staff, especially Marcus, turned pale. The looks of shock and regret on their faces were unmistakable. The manager continued, his tone filled with deference. "I apologize for not recognizing you immediately and for anything that may have occurred while I was away. This salon should offer nothing less than excellence for someone like you." Keanu met his gaze in the mirror, his expression calm but firm, with a faint smile. He replied, "Thank you, but I think the atmosphere here has been revealing." Keanu's response made the manager frown slightly. He sensed something was wrong, though he didn't yet know what. His attention shifted to Marcus and the staff nearby, who stood frozen, avoiding his gaze at all costs. The manager straightened his posture and turned to Marcus, his voice now laced with authority. "Marcus, I trust you've treated this client with the level of professionalism this salon demands?" "Marcus." Keanu opened his mouth to respond, but the words seemed stuck in his throat. He knew any explanation would be futile. The manager caught the silence and looked at the other staff members, whose guilty expressions confirmed his suspicions. Turning back to Keanu, he said, "Please allow me to assure you that from this moment forward, your experience here will be flawless. And once again, I sincerely apologize for any inappropriate behavior on behalf of my team." Keanu, maintaining his calm tone, replied, "There's no need to apologize directly to me. I think they need to understand something bigger." The manager, realizing the weight of Keanu's words, stepped back to give him space. As Keanu rose from the chair, his gaze swept across the room, meeting the eyes of every person present. His look carried more than disappointment, it conveyed wisdom and dignity. Taking a deep breath, his voice broke the silence. "All of you, staff and clients alike, need to hear this," he began. The entire salon held its breath, hanging on the edge, waiting for the words that would come next. The salon was completely silent. All eyes were on Keanu, now standing beside the chair. His posture was calm and upright, and he seemed to carefully measure his words before speaking. His tranquility only heightened the tension in the air. Keanu looked around, his gaze meeting every face, both clients and staff. There was no anger in his expression, only a firmness that conveyed the weight of what he was about to say. "People should not be judged by their appearance, clothing, or anything superficial," he began, his voice steady yet calm. "I've been sitting here for quite some time, observing how you treat those who, in your eyes, don't fit in." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. Some people averted their gaze, ashamed, while others remained frozen, unable to react. "It's easy to be polite and courteous to those you believe have money or status. But the true test of character is how you treat those who you think have nothing to offer." Keanu turned to the staff, addressing them directly. "I came in here expecting nothing more than a haircut, something anyone, no matter who they are, should be able to do without being made to feel like they don't belong. What I found were judgmental looks, unnecessary comments, and an atmosphere that exuded exclusion." Keanu's words echoed through the salon, leaving an immediate impact. Marcus seemed to shrink in his chair, unable to meet Keanu's eyes. Other staff members lowered their heads, clearly ashamed. The clients shifted uneasily in their seats, feeling the weight of their own actions. An older client, who had earlier whispered cruel comments, finally spoke, her voice low. "He's right. This isn't how we should treat people." Another client nodded, visibly reflecting on her behavior. The manager, who had remained silent until now, stepped forward. "Mr. Reeves," he began, his voice filled with respect. Your words are a powerful reminder to all of us. Thank you for showing us where we failed, and I promise this will not be forgotten. Keanu turned to him, nodding with a faint smile. I hope it's not just remembered, but that it inspires real change. With that, Keanu picked up his jacket and started walking toward the exit. But before he crossed the doors, he stopped and turned around, facing everyone in the salon one last time. Remember, true greatness isn't in what you wear or how you appear. It's in how you treat others. And with those words, he left the salon, leaving a heavy, reflective silence in his wake. After the salon doors closed behind Keanu, everyone remained still for a few moments. It was as if the weight of his words had frozen the room. The silence, once uncomfortable, now felt heavy with introspection. The manager was the first to move, clearing his throat. He attempted to regain his composure before turning to his staff. Did you hear what he said? He asked, his voice more serious than ever. From this moment forward, we're going to make sure something like this never happens again. The atelier has always stood for excellence, but excellence isn't just about luxury. It's about treating every person with the respect they deserve. The staff nodded, some visibly ashamed, others deep in thought about what had transpired. Marcus, who had been the main culprit, stepped forward. I'm sorry, he said, his voice low. I acted wrongly, and now I see how shameful that was. I promise to do better. The manager nodded but made sure to emphasize. It's not just about making promises, Marcus. It's about taking action. And that applies to all of us. To reinforce the message, the manager announced a new policy. From that day forward, the salon would adopt a clear philosophy of treating all clients equally, without exception. A sign would be placed at the entrance with a simple yet powerful message. Here, everyone is treated like a celebrity. Outside the salon, Keanu walked calmly down the sidewalk, seemingly unfazed by the profound impact he'd left behind. As he strolled, he spotted a man sitting on the curb holding a sign that read, "Hungry. Any help appreciated." Keanu stopped, pulled out his wallet, and handed the man a generous amount of money, along with a few words of encouragement. The smile the man gave him seemed to brighten his path. Keanu continued walking, disappearing into the crowd as if he'd never been there. Back at the salon, the newly installed sign at the entrance gleamed under the sunlight, its message etched in gold letters. Here, everyone is treated like a celebrity. Keanu's lessons would echo in that place for a long time. He had shown that true greatness isn't found in status or appearances, but in character and in how we treat others. If you enjoyed this story, we have many more that will warm your heart. Click the screen to explore more stories of hope, compassion, and resilience.